What up, everybody? I hope everyone out there is having a wonderful day. I am Joe.
I'm Lindsay.
And this is Legend from the Console. So, as we've done in the past, we shot a few review videos of some of the Mandalorian episodes, which we need to catch up on and everything. Yep. But today, we both went and seen Star Wars on Thursday, so today we are going to give our feelings and slight review of Rise of Skywalker. So, to start off, again, we went and seen it Thursday night at 9:30, before it technically came out or whatever, the preview showing, and I believe we both do have a bit of different feelings on the movie.
Unfortunately, yes.
I did enjoy the film. I do have my problems with some of it, and we'll get into that here in a moment. But overall, I did enjoy the film.
I have to say, I did enjoy it too. Lots of little issues to me, mostly. I'd watch it again, most definitely. It's just not what I was hoping for. Definitely not. But then again, I can say that with a lot of varied films and stuff, reboots and such. It just doesn't feel what I expected. Maybe my hopes were just probably a little bit too high. Maybe the bar I set was too high, quite possibly. I mean, they tried really hard to fix a lot of mess.
Yeah, so let's get into that. Again, I am an avid Star Wars fan. I am rabid about it. I love Star Wars. Like, I read a lot of the EU books. I read a lot of the comics. Paid attention to lore from the games and other formats of Star Wars. I know a lot of backstory between Legends and Disney canon. Again, I get very in-depth to Star Wars. I love Star Wars, and
your wealth of knowledge is well surpassing mine. For me, I have role-playing experience from West End Games, which is very enjoyable. Older version. And I'm basically a movie person for the whole point. So, what he knows, I have no clue about, or understand, or grasp how it plays and interacts with the movies, which the movies are trying to keep it all that in one big universe. I don't get it quite so well, but speaking from just the movie universe, some things just don't really fit as well, hearing the back and forth. But because to me, the movie, a lot of fixing, which was pretty cool. I could see some variations at points. They could have changed.
So, fixing stuff, in your opinion, that you had a problem with from Last Jedi.
Last Jedi.
So now, yeah. Big thing with me, Last Jedi, I'm not a huge fan of. There are parts to it that I'm like, okay, that are cool. Like, watching them was pretty cool, seeing some stuff, but a lot of that movie I had a lot of problems with. And this movie, I think, did a great job at fixing certain things and doing a lot of fan service for a hell of a lot of fan service for people that were upset with the way Last Jedi changed a lot of things.
I mean, definitely, I have to say, I love the fact of the and there's our man. They brought Luke back in. That felt good.
So, yeah, that's a big thing in this movie, and we won't try to get into too many spoilers in this, but what they did with Luke, I think did redeem him. Now, I was still upset because he's dead, and they're not going to be able to change that, you know what I mean?
Unfortunately.
But it brought him back, he apologizes in the movie about some stuff, and it really feels a lot like our bad. Like Disney saying, yeah, we know. We're sorry. To me, that's what it felt like at that point.
Yeah, I agree.
Which it did make me happy seeing them like retreat Luke the way I had expected to see him. And again, I think a lot of my problems from The Last Jedi stem from me reading a lot of the old EU, which is now called Legends, about Luke Skywalker, what he was, what he stood for, his power, everything he did. And I think Last Jedi, like, literally took Luke and slapped him in the face and tried to drown him. Like, I really felt that way about Last Jedi, and that's something that hurt me with that.
You describe it as a slap. To me, they just cornholed him dry.
Like, yeah,
it
was
bad.
It was bad, dude. Like, and
he was the last one. And I'll have to say, at that point, a stage of life, Luke was a superior badass.
Yeah, if you know anything about any of the Legends
I mean,
stuff, the old EU, like, Luke was phenomenal. But that's a digression.
Badly, but...
So, in my opinion, the movie, I thought that was done well, especially with what it was given. My whole big thing with it is, if certain aspects of The Last Jedi had never existed, then I think this movie would have been something really epic and special, and they could have done something amazing.
In a way, I kind of wish they would have added more to it. I think a 2-part movie would have been a lot better.
And here's the thing about that is it really does feel like there's 2 different movies in this one movie. It feels, and I've heard other people say it online, on YouTube, on just a lot of stuff. It feels like they were trying to do their own Episode 8 and then Episode 9 in it as well. So they were trying to show you the stuff that we all griped about not seeing in Episode 8. Her training, and like just a lot of character development and all this stuff.
So hard.
Yeah, and so
everything was just crammed and crammed and
again,
crammed.
it's good. It's not nearly what a lot of us wanted. I did enjoy the hell out of the movie. This is what we got. I mean, oh well. Hopefully, after this, the way they do set it up is it can build a lot more from this, and hopefully all it can do is go up, you know what I mean? And
I agree, yeah.
But I also do think, I don't think people received this movie as well because of another factor, which is, in my opinion, The Mandalorian. Because I am enjoying The Mandalorian a lot. I think it is done very well. It has an old Star Wars, George Lucas feel to it.
Oh, I just love to where we do our review for that, because the last episode...
Yeah. We'll definitely get into that. But with all that, like, I really do feel, and I've read other people talking about this. I've heard other people in videos talking about this, and I do agree, man. Like, big time. I think Jon Favreau with The Mandalorian has set such a high bar now.
Yes. It's
going to be really hard to top it at this point in time. Mm-hmm. Especially, again, like, I think all together. So, The Mandalorian, on top of a lot of people's issues and infighting between the fandom, going back and forth on people loving The Last Jedi, people hating it. This movie trying to fix a lot of that. Mm-hmm. So, and then again, The Mandalorian on top, setting that bar so high. I think all of it together has culminated in it not being what it could have been. You know what I mean?
I almost kind of wish they hadn't, for the last episode, Mandalorian,
released it early, right?
Exactly. I think they shouldn't have.
No, I think that kind of killed some momentum for this movie.
It did.
As far as like what you've seen in that last episode compared to what you got in this movie.
You're right.
The satisfaction between the two is just miles of difference.
I could see their point of opinion. Well, let's get it out there first because it'll be coming on. No, we could have had this stuff back to back. Would have been fine. People would have definitely say it would have been released after the movie. After Thursday night or whatever, Friday, would have been better. But getting it on that Wednesday night, Dan watching the movie, Ouch. Ouch.
Well, and I know another thing with this movie is I've heard and read about a lot of critics and other people reviewing it, like before it actually came out, saying like, "Oh, this movie doesn't explain anything," and all this different kind of stuff. And I just don't understand that attitude about it, because this movie, it does nothing but explain stuff. You know, like I've also heard people say this, like this movie flat out is the most linear Star Wars there is. It goes from point A to point B, and that's it. There's no big twists and turns. There's no things hidden, and you know, a lot of surprises. It is straightforward from the beginning to the end.
It is straight there.
It really feels like Star Wars simplified.
You're right. A to B, no twists, no turns. The story was solidly straight through.
And it moves. There is no real lull in the movie. It just goes and fast. Like
I may be giving kind of iffy bits to how I felt towards the movie, but yeah, you sat there and it was boom, 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 boom. You had to watch, and I enjoyed that. I'm not saying I hated the film. It just didn't satisfy.
Didn't grasp you like you were hoping it would. No. And I think that's going on with a lot of people right now.
With various little bits, but it just. And everybody knows I am not the super Star Wars fan as you, but I do enjoy it. But maybe my thought was, and maybe it goes with other people, we had a higher expectation than we
I know I did, because there were certain things with certain characters I wanted to see come back, and again, we'll probably get into that in another video. All the super detailed stuff, nitpicky. Not trying to hate on it or anything, but I'm also going to talk a lot about what I did really enjoy about the film. Like, there were a lot of spots in it where I was like, yeah, right on, you know, and I was...
My favorite spot.
I was excited.
Luke popping in, pop.
Yeah, that scene was amazing. Like, Luke's scene in the movie was very redeeming, and it was good. I really enjoyed it. I like how they brought him back, you know what I mean? Like, they brought him back to Luke Skywalker, not whiny.
And you're happy, you're like, yes. And then the other part where it really played with emotion, especially with the part with Leia.
Yeah. Now, that is something in the movie because, again, Carrie Fisher was not alive to shoot any of this film.
Some of it was pre-shot.
Yeah, all of it was pre-shot. This was all extra stuff that they had pretty much had left over from, like, Force Awakens, and I think maybe a little bit from The Last Jedi, possibly.
And they did a little CGI with it.
And then they, like, you know, did little moments where you didn't see her much and you heard her voice say certain things. You know, they did some editing and stuff. But the way they did Leia in the movie, it was phenomenal. I thought Leia's story in the movie was fucking great. It really was. Like, and I'm not trying to cuss a lot on here, but...
I would be happy if they would actually do a TV series that actually explained, like, you know, Luke had to train her.
Yeah.
I
could see him do an animated series of that. You know what I mean?
I would like to see that.
And that would, I think, be really cool because you get some of that in the movie, but it's like... I'll say something about it. When it talks about Leia and Luke and Jedi training with the two of them, it leaves you, like, wanting more. Not in a bad way, like, you're upset because you didn't get to see more of that. There were a lot of things in the movie that you seen them and it was like, yes! And then it was gone. And you were like, damn it!
And that goes with this movie and the last movie. I mean, yes, ship blows up and she flies through space.
Yeah, like, and that is something I know there were a lot of people like. And I love that because... Like, especially things you learn in this movie, it's like, okay, well, that makes a lot of sense. Because she is a Skywalker. Luke trained her, and...
Each person, each Jedi, we all know, focuses at different points.
Yeah, there's unique abilities and stuff to many of them.
And you can see unique abilities with her. Maybe she was not the most super...
Well, she wasn't super practiced, and if, like, again, books and novels and comics do for the Disney canon explain why she didn't continue as a Jedi. She became more of a political figure because of certain things, and it does explain that. It talks about that in the movie as well, which we'll get into another video. I'll quote it then, but
a miniseries, a little.
It would be wonderful to see something like that. I think that's something that could be enjoyable on like Disney Plus.
And seeing it actually right at the end of Return of the Jedi, so you can get some story of how the chaos of the universe.
Yeah.
That I will see.
Especially, again, that's something I think a lot of people do want because of The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian is showing you stuff that you were, like, wanting to see right after Return of the Jedi. You know what I mean?
What happened?
And I think if they could take and do an animated series showing them, like, again, there's this problem going on with The Mandalorian, and you could do a bunch of different stuff with this different sects of everything that's going on, you know what I mean? Which would be really cool, and I think you could do a cool animated series with that. And it would be phenomenal. But another thing I do want to talk about in this video about characters we've seen before in the movies that made a return and everything in it. And again, like, you know, you have everybody seen the stuff with Lando. But one that maybe a lot of people who aren't, again, super anal retentive about a lot of Star Wars stuff was Wedge Antilles.
I missed it, but
when they're in the big battle, you see Wedge Antilles, and he's there on a gun, and he's like, let's do it, and it's like, yeah, dude, I got super friggin' excited, man. I seen that part, and I was just like, my heart grew like just, wanted to leap out of my chest.
See, I'm not sure if that was a part I just missed, or one where I dozed. I'm not sure, but I missed that.
It was in the final battle with all the ships and everything. But yeah, there were certain spots with certain, like, callbacks and everything. Again, a lot of fan service in this movie, and a lot of that fan service were little details that I caught that I'm like, yeah!
Which really, to be, in my point, saved the movie.
Yeah.
Saved it.
But yeah, so we will come back probably very shortly. And we will be doing we'll do a large spoiler breakdown. We'll give it a couple weeks because I know there's people out there doing a lot of that already. But the way I always look at it, you know, people are trying to avoid some of that stuff. So this is, you know, not a lot of spoilers in this at all. So that way we're not ruining things for people because I do think I need to go see it again. And I'm going to go see it again because I know there's a lot of things in there that I'm going to see a second time and probably be like, oh, yeah, okay,
that makes better sense.
Well, just like giving me a little more, I don't know, I know what to expect, but, you know, triggering more of those feelings I was looking for in me with it. All in all, again, my opinion, I thought it was done quite well. I thought they did great fixing a lot of things that I had problems with, and I know that might not be what everybody wanted, but in my opinion, for me, it was a great movie. And I enjoyed a lot of the way it worked. Was it perfect? No. Could it have been done better? Yes, and I think there are things that cause it to be what it is. But again, I mean, we're stuck with what we got. Like, the way they do in this movie, I really hope they come back and build a lot on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For me, I found the movie alright. Very good at some points, caught me and brought me back up into it where I was focused into it. All in all, a good movie. Definitely worth a watch.
Yeah,
definitely you have to watch it.
Yeah, and I definitely think it's worth a watch on the big screen. I really do. At least one.
But otherwise, it left lots of things hanging. But that's my opinion.
Yeah, again, this is all our opinions. You do have two different opinions because before we shot this, we're sitting here arguing about certain things, and I'm like, it is what it is, you know.
I mean,
that's the wonderful thing about all this kind of stuff, man.
You can put plot elements and you could twist it to some points, or you can make the points of this and that. I mean,
it happened. Let's move forward. Let's get some more interesting stuff going on from here, because again, it does open a world where you can build a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff.
And continue with lots more.
But anyway, that's going to be the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, please give us a like. Let us know down in the comments your guys' opinions, how you felt about the movie, what your opinions are, what you think of our opinions, whether you hate us and you think we're shills or idiots or whatever. Bring it on, man, because I know there's going to be a lot of opinions here, and if you got to spew your hate, go ahead. We don't care. And, actually, I'll enjoy it because that will give us more stuff to chat about.
Yeah, varied opinions is what we need.
Yeah, and I think, we can try to set up discussions for that, make it a little better. But, yeah, if you enjoy it, give us a like. It would help us out a great deal. If you guys are enjoying anything we're putting out, please hit that subscribe button. That would help us out a great deal as well. And if you do, tap the notification bell. That way you can stay up to date with everything we're uploading.
And if you want to, share it.
Yeah.
Please do. There may be somebody else in your friend list that may enjoy it. Share it, please.
Yeah. Pass it around, man. And we'd love to hear from a lot of people on a lot of this stuff. So let us know, man. Give us opinions. Chat with us. Check us out on Facebook as well at facebook.com/Lejjnd Unlimited. You can catch a link for that down in the description. And until next time, I am Joe.
I'm Lindsay.
This has been Lejjnd from the Console. Everybody, take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful day. Be well, and we will catch you shortly.
Thank you for watching.